What's up guys, I'm Max here, and today we're doing another 9.2 PTR raid testing video. Today it's gonna be the Vigilant Guardian, which is the first boss of the raid. It has a very similar idea to Hellfire Assault from Hellfire Citadel in Warlords of Draenor, where players need to kill a bunch of ads in order to get access to mechanics that deal the majority of the damage to the boss itself. The dungeon journal for this fight might seem a little bit intimidating, so I'll try my best to break it down for you. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. During this encounter, the Vigilant Guardian is aided by various Atoma. The goal is to detonate the unstable core near the boss, since each detonated core deals 20% of its maximum health. In order to do this, we need to defeat lesser Atoma to redirect their power into greater Atoma, which ultimately leads to the activation of Automated Defense Matrix, which drops the core we want and prevents us from total annihilation. There are 3 cores dropped throughout the fight, so we only need to deal with 40% of the boss's health. The Vigilant Guardian periodically awakens 5 volatile materium to the battle. Their movement speed is increased by 20% and their damage is increased by 10% every 10 seconds. Defeating volatile materium activates 2 point defense drones. They fire missiles at random players, dealing moderate damage to all players within 3 yards of the target. Shortly after their spawn, they teleport to random locations nearby and start channeling cosmic energy at random players, dealing very high damage over time. Fortunately, hard CC works on them, so it will be nice to have Death Knights grip them back and kill them during stun. Vigilant Guardian summons 1 additional sentry that requires attention from tanks. The prefabricated sentry casts Wave of Disintegration, smashing the ground beneath the target player. Upon impact, it creates a wave of disintegration zones that explode in rapid succession, dealing high damage to all players standing in the area. This ability comes with very obvious visual effects, so one should be able to dodge them pretty easily. Upon reaching 50 energy, the sentry requires a tank swap, casting Dissonance, dealing high physical damage and inflicting a stacking 20% invulnerability to future casts. There is one important mechanic in the first 2 phases of the fight. The Vigilant Guardian gains 1 degree of core temperature every second. Upon reaching 100 degrees core temperature, the boss exposes his core to cool it down, dealing lethal damage over time. The raid needs to defeat enough Atoma to activate the Automated Defense Matrix before the boss reaches full core temperature, since the Defense Matrix creates a force field, reducing damage taken from exposed core by 90%. Force field also reduces damage taken by allied Atoma by 90%, so the raid may want to deal with drones beforehand and have tanks keep the rest of the Atoma outside the field. Automated Defense Matrix stops channeling force field once exposed core is over, and starts attacking players instead. It casts Seer on random targets, which is essentially the same channel ability as what the drones do. That's it for the ads, and let's see what the boss itself does. Different from Heroic difficulty, the Vigilant Guardian joins the fight right at the start instead of phase 2 and uses ability from that phase as well. It fires Refracted Blasts, which deal high damage to players in the area. On Mythic difficulty, it creates spikes of creation at the blast's locations. Any player touching the spikes will blow them off, dealing stacking rate damage over time. It seems like you will get multiple stacks if several players happen to touch the same spike in a short time window, and it's basically a wipe if that happens, so watch your step. In phase 1, the boss also targets random players with de-resolution, firing several blasts in the direction indicated by the red arrow in rapid succession. Make sure to bait the arrow so that the raid don't have to move around to dodge the blasts. Phase 2 starts upon reaching 40% health as the Vigilant Guardian transforms into its battle mode. It adds Matter Dissolution to its arsenal, targeting a player and forming orbs of antimatter around. The orbs move in and deal almost lethal damage to players touching them, inflicting double damage and vulnerability. The targeted player is slowed by 50% for 10 seconds after Matter Dissolution ends. Other than that, the boss does a tank swap hit at 50 energy and rate-wide damage over time. Tanks need to pay attention to one extra ability, however, called Split Resolution. Same as Heroic difficulty, the boss smashes the ground, dealing high damage beneath it, and creates blasts in a line expanding in multiple directions. These blasts share similar visual effects to the ones from de-resolution, so dodge them well. At 15% health, we go into a burn phase, Vigilant Guardian activates its self-destruct sequence, dealing increasing rate damage until defeated. Currently on the PTR, it is possible to save 3 cores by just leaving them on the ground and kill the boss from 60% to 0, skipping the harder parts of the fight. I wouldn't be surprised to see it getting fixed, and if that's the case, you might want to hold on to Lust and CDs for the last phase in case the rate damage becomes overwhelming. Now that we have introduced all the mechanics, this fight seems pretty bland. I'm gonna say the most interesting part about this fight is probably the last phase, where the boss does nothing but increasing rate damage, but you have to kill it before it consumes you. The strategy should be pretty simple: kill the ads, stack the rate in the force field during exposed core, kill the automated fist matrix to get the core, detonate it next to the boss, dodge ground effects, burn the boss, and there's a loot. Welcome to Sepulcher of the First Ones. That's it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed the video. I've been getting hundreds of views on my recent uploads, so thank you so much for everyone watching those. Please subscribe to the channel if you want to see more World of Warcraft content. It really means a lot to me. And as usual, feel free to comment in the section down below. I'll see you guys in the next one. Max out.
Show